You are listening to the e-flux podcast.
Hello, this episode was recorded on September 26th at e-flux before a live music set by Through Rust and Dusk, an experimental duo of Jad and Tarek Atoui that incorporates improvisation techniques, custom-made instruments, field recordings, and electronic sounds. The conversation with Sana is followed by an excerpt of their performance.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. It's really a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about your project? Have you collaborated before? How often do you guys play together?
Yeah, actually we started collaborating when Tarek decided that my music is good enough. So that was around 2012. We did the first gig together.
That was early.
Yeah.
I thought it was later.
Yeah, but no, the official, first really official gig was around 2018.
Okay.
When we did an exhibition, actually 2019, when we did an exhibition in Sharjah, and it was the opening concert of the exhibition. And that's when we did a performance based on a body of work that Tarek especially, been working on for the past few years.
How long have you guys been making music? So I get an idea of how long it took for you to collaborate.
Me, I have been doing music since 2001, so 21 years.
Yeah, and me 2010,
Okay.
around 12 years.
Yeah. And because the relationship is quite different since you're collaborators and brothers. How did you both get into sort of the same field?
So basically, of course, Tarek got into music way earlier than I did. And after 2006 in Lebanon, especially, that we had a bit of a hard war in Beirut, basically. And this affected our lives in a big way in Lebanon and affected me, especially mentally and psychologically. So one of the things that made me get over some bad feelings I had through music and through Tarek introducing me to some artists and musicians. And it was kind of treatment for me. So that's what got me into music. And then I decided that maybe I should pursue that as a hobby. And then it turned into a full-time job now.
Was it electronic music from the beginning?
Yeah. It was. I started software music. I used to play, compose breakcore and rave music, and so my first years were me working with an organization to organize rave parties, and I used to play live breakcore and drum and bass, and.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you also have, Tarek, origins from dance music or no?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I also started with this, but in 98, after I left Lebanon. When I left Beirut to France, it is when I really encountered electronic music. And it started with techno and hard techno and all the travelers and the tribe movement of free parties in Brittany and in the woods and all this. And I started by mixing, actually. This is what I learned, is to play turntable decks first.
Okay.
And from this, at some point after a lot of partying, the two years after, I went to a conservatory that was, to my big luck, teaching electro-acoustic music to people who had little experience or who didn't come from a classical background or academic studies.
Which school was it?
It was in a conservatory in a small town north of Paris called Reims, the city of champagne.
Okay.
So there was lots of champagne and a studio for electroacoustic music.
So after that, you guys started collaborating together, you said in 2016?
Well,
for the first time?
It happened in different ways, honestly, and in different moments. There was, as Jad was saying, this moment in 2019 in Sharjah that led to several things. But that was maybe the first time you stepped into my like kind of visual art parameter, let's call it like this, into one of my exhibitions with all its process of like installing the works, then playing them on concerts, then hosting other musicians and other people on residencies and facilitating their presence in this and work, to also like composing pieces and like leading collectives of musicians within these works. But before, we had like also moments where we played together like in concert formats, you see, and like we did a lot of encounters of like electronic improvised music, you see, like Marfa, when we did Marfa, or like conjured geographies. Yeah.
Actually, after I moved to New York, I got more into the experimental scene and more into the Lower East Side jazz scene through the Stone and different musicians. So that's when I started experimenting more with music and improvising more. And that opened up more to me working with Tarek, since we both now have a kind of language we can understand each other and play live, perform.
Yeah, I actually have this book, Marfa Soundings, and you guys both have text in it. It's like a music residency, right?
It was like a performance program that happened over 3 years in Marfa, actually, and like we had the pleasure and the honor of being like the third and last edition of it.
Oh, okay. And each time you guys have collaborated together, has there been like a red thread like throughout, or does the relationship change through each project?
Interesting. You should. I'll answer second on this one.
I mean, after each, I think we understand each. It's basically like, since I don't see Tarek that much and we don't live in the same city, so for us working together on projects.
Actually, you guys live in different continents, right?
Yeah.
You live in Beirut, and
Paris.
Tarek lives in Paris. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's like a way for us to catch up, and through work and through working on exhibition, talking about music, we can understand a lot about each other, like where we are psychologically now, how we feel. And so this is like a way for us to stay in touch, basically.
Yeah. It's like a really beautiful way of communicating, and like actually way of being like in your brotherhood. What about your third brother? He's not a musician.
He'll be in the audience.
Is there like do you guys come from like a very musical family, or it just happened this way?
Not at all, no. No. I think we're the first in the family who do such a thing. We have a very big family.
Yeah. It's very specific.
Yeah, but our dad used to be a lot into classical music.
Okay.
So, yeah. I remember he had Edgar Boulet's album at some point.
I left it. I gave it as gift to him, but he never listened to it.
Edgar Varese, it's not Boulet.
So in the small like text that you guys gave me, it talks about like your duo and like different places where you've sampled sounds and like recorded sounds. So is this like a big part of both of your practice, like capturing like environments around you as you go, or?
For me, yes, it is, but it's not just environments, you see. It's not just like as field recording or like recording spaces, but it's also sometimes like really working on generating or producing specific material, you see, either by creating like situations of performances, like let's say in an anthropology museum where we play like instruments from like an old archive for the first time since years, and then recording this material and then considering it as a work material, to sometimes recording harbors, or to sometimes having ideas of, let's say, to work in like record the atmosphere in a strip club, or like but these are like sound libraries that personally I build and collect, and I have many of these, you see, over time, also from classical Arabic music and tribal music. So that's my material, kind of.
And for me, and since I started working more with exhibition material, especially with Tarek, I started becoming more interested in manipulating field recordings and composing sounds using only field recordings that Tarek captured. So this has changed a bit my perception of composition and what sounds to be used in a composition. but I'm also very interested in more the process of manipulating sound and working in programming and how to inject these sounds into a program and have different textures and different sounds coming up.
Yeah, and to this we also add like what also it's part of the performance tonight, like the analog on the objects, or like what in electroacoustic Pierre Schaeffer used to call like the sonic object or l'objet sonore. So like playing sound into materials, into matter, into metal, into water, or environments like these, and through these are like interests or ways also that lead us to manipulate objects or things that where we touch the sound or where we really have the sound in our hand, rather than just using like big speakers or PA systems.
That leads us into what's your setup looking like today? Like, what instruments did you bring?
So it's a combination of I'm using a modular synthesizer, my Eurorack, and some synths, and we also using hybrid contact microphones that are produced by our friend Igor Port, and he builds microphone from different objects, and so we're using that. We're using brass discs, and also Tarek is using his controllers, sensors. And Max.
Yeah, and since we have like at the moment, it happened today that we have a lot of gear in New York, so we came with a lot of things, but we're also using some instruments like that we have built on previous projects. So like some things like an instrument called the Duo Fluctus by Sergei Filatov in Moscow. And we were lucky to have this exhibition at Flag Art coming up soon, and so lots of instruments were available. So we also like kind of did a mix that will resemble very much what we will be playing, like a lot of collage and materials that are either totally organic and acoustic to things that are like analog and in the aesthetic of modular synths to sampling and like super digital computer generated stuff as well.
So what at Flag Art Foundation you guys are doing an exhibition?
Yes, there's an exhibition opening like on the 30th of September, and that stretches for 2 months. And it's actually part of of an itinerary I got. That's something I've been working on and presented already in Austin as part of a prize I won there. And so this exhibition is coming to New York. We're installing it, then I leave it in the hands of Jad, and Jad will be, he's commissioned the piece. Maybe you can say what.
Okay.
And also we'll be working on a composition with Chuck Bettis, Neva Dunkelman, and Robbie Bowen. So we're gonna compose a piece with Tarek's instruments, and we're gonna do a concert on the 26th of October.
Nice. At Flag Art?
At Flag Art.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have a lot of equipment now because of the show at Flag Art. Is it because like you brought them all with you, or because like there are some that are in New York that you're using, or?
No, because mainly like this is what happens with my exhibitions.
Yeah.
It's a lot of equipment and gear and tech that travel like in airplanes or in this case by boat and containers. So like it was like a big scale exhibition at some point, out of which we have lots of tools and materials to work with.
So some of the instruments you'll be playing tonight will be on display at Flag Art?
Or at least some of the techniques and many of the ideas we're using tonight like will echo and resonate there, yes. Although the two environments are very different. And yeah.
That's really cool. And you have also a show at, Jad, you have a show at the Stone as well, I saw, right?
Yeah, I have a Stone residency from October 12th to the 15th. So I'm presenting 4 nights, different projects in a row.
Also with the Chuck Bettis, or?
Yes, one night is gonna. So on the 12th, I'm gonna do my solo project, and then second night is gonna be a trio with Chuck and Neva, and third night is with Layal Shakir. She's a violinist living in Brooklyn. And the 5th night is with Mona Atoui and Robbie Bowen.
Okay, that's really cool. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we?
No, just I want to thank you for having us.
Oh, no, thank you. All right, thank you.
Super.
And now we're going to hear a clip from the performance.